Hammer subscribers and viewers. Tonight's episode of APN's Jersey Shore podcast will not be streaming. Our scheduled host, Damon the Hammer Galdo, is a nominee for New Jersey Congress in District 1 and is currently speaking at an event in New Jersey. Thank you for your understanding, and you for being a loyal subscriber and viewer. APN's Jersey Shore podcast will be back on Monday at 8 p.m. Eastern Time.
It's Hammer time, everybody, and welcome to the Jersey Shore podcast. Today, we've got a packed show from breaking news to topics that will keep you informed. So please click the subscribe button to get notified of upcoming episodes. If you like what the Hammer talked about, then share the Jersey Shore podcast to others. Damon also looks forward to your comments during this episode. Tonight's Jersey Shore podcast starts now.
Good evening, everybody. No, I am not Damon the Hammer Galdo. I am Seth Eisenberg. I'm pinch hitting for Damon today. We're going to bring him on in a minute. So you're in the right place, right time. Everything's good. Nothing's wrong. Just going to step in for him for today and let him deal with what he's got to deal with. And it's not my story to tell. So I'm not going to say why. I'll let Damon explain that. It's personal, and I think it's best coming from him than from me. So let's bring Damon on. There's the man, the Hammer. The common viewers.
Thank you for filling in for me. So I won't be on long. The reason why Seth filmed in for me, I really appreciate it, is I had another death in the family. My oldest sister passed, Catherine Tiska, and Galdo's Tiska, I would say. But and I want to thank the whole APN family for taking care of everything for me. Our great producer, Damon Sherrod, he made a great montage for the funeral. It happened suddenly, it was a shock to everybody. And nobody.
Seth Eisenberg.
Someone just came up in there. Sorry about that. But it was just, I couldn't believe it. My sister called me. I have 5 siblings. I'm number 5 out of 6. And she was the oldest. She was 58 years old and cardiac arrest. And so it was a shock to all of us. But I just want to say to you guys, thank you for taking over for me. And, it's a rough time. So, but
you don't got to thank me, man. It's what we do. It's how I roll. I'll take care of you when you need it, because I'm sure I'm going to need it at some point. So, I never met your sister. Unfortunately, she sounds like she was a really good person. Probably less of a person for not knowing her. But I was hurt when I didn't even, like I said, I didn't know her, and I was hurt when I heard about it. It's never easy losing a family member. It's even less easy to deal with when it's like a sibling. I can't imagine what that's like. The last death I experienced in my family was my mother in cancer in 2012, and then my uncle a year later in 2013. Knock on wood, I haven't had to experience the loss since then. And I like I said, I can't imagine what it's like to lose a sibling. I just can't imagine.
Yeah, it's gonna be hard for my father just getting over a stroke too. He's lost his brother a few weeks ago, and now his firstborn daughter. So I'm just concerned about him. I told him to stay strong. I said, "Listen, I'm not ready to lead the family yet. He's the leader." And I said, "I still need you here. I'm not ready for that yet." Other things going on. And she was my biggest cheerleader for everything, Seth. Listen to every episode of the podcast. It was funny too, because she would listen to one that was 3 weeks prior. I kind of sounded the same as the other. I said, because you listened to the wrong one. You didn't listen to the live version. She was on my radio show and everything. She was door knocking for me and, hanging my signs everywhere. She was motivated. She was proud of me. But
well, yeah, a big sister's job. Take care of the little brother. That's
Yeah.
unlike the older brother picks on the little brother.
Yeah.
Sisters take care of the little brothers. That's her job. Seems like she did a good job too. I mean,
Yeah, she did. She did. She's an awesome person. Give the shirt off her back. I mean, she was the kindest person I've ever met.
so if somebody wants to send flowers or anything like that, do you want? Is there a funeral parlor you're going to they can send flowers to or anything like that?
That's all right. I mean, it's fine, but we got it covered. She had her insurance, and she had money in her account to where it covered everything. And my dad put up some stuff, and so we already ordered everything. Everything's taken care of. We went and picked out a plot on Saturday and met with the funeral director and everything. So we're my parents bought their plot too next door, and I was like, "Oh, wait a minute!" I said, "You guys, I'm not going anywhere." Yeah, but she talked a lot, and so was my mom. So I told my dad, I said, if you're in the middle, I said, you better take your hearing aids out before you go, because they're going to be chatting in your ears, on both sides. I said, you're going to wake up from the dead and like, I'm out of here.
Yeah, I mean, it's good that you can laugh still. I mean, a lot of people freeze up when this kind of thing happens. They don't know what to do. So keeping a sense of humor, while it doesn't cure all, it does make things a tad bit easier.
Yeah, I try. I mean, because I'm all out of tears.
Oh, you're not yet. Trust me.
You're not yet. Trying to, just move on. That's why I wasn't going to come on tonight, and I thank you for filling in for me. But figured I'd stop on for a few minutes and just pay tribute to my sister Kathy. She was the best. So
you turned out pretty good, so I can only imagine she turned out a little better since she was older. So, well, again, man, I can't speak for anybody else except the network. And like I said, dude, I am beyond sorry that this happened. The only redeeming thing that I've heard so far is it happened pretty quick, so it wasn't something that lingered and kept her around in pain for a while. So that's for lack of a better term, and I'm not that good with expounding. It's a good thing. It's a blessing because I've known people that have hung around way past when they should have and been in pain. So that's one good thing.
But I just again with the APN. I mean, our network. All of us together. I mean, we all stick together, and I mean, it's part of our motto about family. Faith, family, and God, country, and all that. And you guys stepped up and helped me. I really appreciate it. I haven't had better friends than this, and I have great friends as well that came over to my house, but you guys, I met not that long ago, a few years back, and you guys are really, you're awesome. So thank you for your support. I really appreciate it. And all the listeners out there, I really appreciate it as well.
And like I said, man, you would do the same for me. What kind of jerk would I be if I couldn't help you out? I mean, what kind of man is that wouldn't help another man out that's going through some pretty difficult stuff?
So appreciate it. If not, I would have came over and smashed your other foot, your good foot, with my hammer.
Jeez, I'm glad I did this then because I couldn't get around at all then.
Yeah, she loved you. She's like, that Seth guy's crazy. I said, yeah, he is.
Yeah, I don't know if it's a good crazy or bad crazy, but yeah, I'll take crazy.
Yeah, no, she liked watching your show too. So, but I appreciate
She's the one.
Yeah. So, all right, everyone. I think the producer is going to throw something up there, then I'm going to hop off after this and be with the rest of my family. But again, thank you very much. I appreciate it.
Anytime, man. Anytime, brother.
All right. Have a good one.
You too, boss. If you need anything, call me. Not that I can hop, skip, and be there, but give me a call.
So, all right. You got it. Well, you can hop with one leg.
Yeah, well, I could hop. I have to hop, but it'll be more than one hop. It'll be a few hundred.
So, all right. Guys, thank you very much. I appreciate it.
You're welcome, man. And take it easy, brother.
All right.
All right. Everybody, that was Damon Galdo. Again, I'm pinch hitting for him because his sister passed away. And as you can imagine, there's a lot of things that his family needs to take care of and deal with. And this is not as important as family. So it's completely understandable, and I'm completely happy to help him out as long as he needs it. It's not an inconvenience at all. I'm proud and honored to be in a position to help him. And I hope that this next week, next month go by as smoothly as it possibly can for him and his family. I understand it's not going to be smooth, but I hope there's a time to grieve, and then the grieving turns to fond memories, and they can move on and remember the good times and be happy with what they have right now. Because make no mistake about it, when someone passes, that's like a sibling. When my mother passed, you never forget that person. There will always be a hole in your soul, and there should be. That's just respect for that person. They meant that much to you. You should never forget them. You should never get over it. It should never be easy. Forever, you should remember that person. Forever. That's the least you can do for someone that's affected your life that much. So when people tell you, "Oh, you'll get past it, you'll move on and forget about it," no, you never will, and you shouldn't. There's nothing wrong with remembering at all. So again, the entire network and everybody who's watching, I can't speak for everybody, but you have our deepest sympathies, you and your family. And again, if there's anything we can ever do, just let us know, and we will be more than glad to help you in any way we can. And then we're going to kind of touch more on that later on in the podcast. So yeah, that's why I'm here. Again, like I said, I didn't want to get too much into it because it's not my story to tell. I wanted to let him speak and say what he wanted to say. And I'm a little under the weather, so if I keep coughing, I apologize. It's just on top of everything else. Now I think I'm getting a cold. Lucky me. Winter chicken dinner. All right, so let's move into the breaking news and start moving forward.
And it's important to remember that happiness comes and goes. It is so fleeting. But the joy of the Lord withstands all. It's important to remember that happiness comes and goes, and I pray that you find it.
I can't imagine being such a petty POS that I would attack a widow and scream out she protects pedophiles. I don't know what's wrong with this country anymore. I don't. You've got that woman's been attacked by what's her whole Candace Owens, who's just crazy as a shithouse rat. Just nuts. She went to mutant school. Says Charlie Kirk was a time traveler. That France, America, and Israel wanted to assassinate her. This woman is certifiably insane. If we still had insane asylums in this country, she would have been put in one by now. But she's not. She's on podcasts, on a pedestal, attacking a widow, and getting millions of followers. People with followers should be ashamed. I mean, they really should. I mean, leave her alone. If you didn't like Charlie Kirk, you didn't like her, that's fine. But move on with your life. Let the woman grieve. I don't think she's had a chance to grieve. But that happened at a speech she was giving, apparently for, obviously for Turning Point, and a woman yelled out that she protected pedophiles. I don't know what trailer park that lady crawled out of to scream that at a what do you want to call it, a meeting or a town hall, but that's disgusting, and that woman should be ashamed of herself, especially with baseless accusations. People use words like Nazi and pedophile and fascist and bigot and homophobe so much that it doesn't mean anything anymore. There's no meaning to it. You're a Nazi. Yeah, whatever. It's used so much. Unfortunately, those words that should be horrifying to people now mean nothing. And I blame the left for that. Because if they don't like you, you're a Nazi. You're a pedophile. You're a fascist. You're a homophobe. You're a bigot. And they don't mean anything anymore. So when you run into a real Nazi like that moron up in Maine and you call him a Nazi, nobody cares. It's sad. It's disgusting. People need to learn to mind their own goddamn business rather than attack people and make up false accusations to make themselves feel better. Crawl back to the trailer park, lady. That's where you belong. All right, what's next we got up here for breaking news?
This was in Philadelphia.
We have done everything in our power to bring the United States to its knees. Let us not lose sight of the enemy. For every U.S. military base that crumbles, and for every U.S. soldier who returns home in a casket, we cheer.
You hate America? May a Hamas rocket blow up your family's home.
And this was in South Carolina. Does America not understand what is happening? Do we not understand what has happened to the United Kingdom? Do we not understand that their goal is not to assimilate? It is to take over. Do we not understand that these are not just little cultural differences? That this is completely incompatible with the West? Honestly, somewhere between that and all of the evil in the world being orchestrated by a cabal of satanic, cannibalistic pedophiles, there's just something in me that's feeling a little crusade-y. You know, like a little conquest, a little God wills it type energy. Anyone else? Or is it just me?
She had me up until the point, again, with people throwing out pedophiles, and those words mean nothing anymore. I can't get behind it. Those are just words now to elicit an emotion. But the video, that's happening in America. There are people on the streets of America holding protests saying they pray for American soldiers to come home in caskets. They want America to fall. Anytime a military base is attacked, they cheer. This is going on in America. It's free speech. It's free speech. It's the First Amendment. Didn't say it wasn't. But free speech doesn't alleviate you from being held accountable for what you say. If you say, I hope American soldiers come home in caskets in front of the wrong person, you're liable to be picking your teeth up off the ground. And you should. I don't know why you would live in a country where you wish for death on the people who protect your country. That would be okay with you. That you cheer when they die, and then have the balls to do that in the middle of the street, to pronounce that, and people cheering it. I don't know what's happened to this country. I don't know why people feel that's okay, but it's not. It's not okay at all. If you don't like this country, that's fine. No one says you have to like it. And on the other hand, no one says you have to stay here. You are free to leave this country whenever you want to. This guy wants to support Hamas. Well, then move to the Middle East. Rent an apartment in downtown Gaza. Enlist with Hamas. See how that works out for you. I mean, they're just getting bombed every day of the week and losing. But that's in America. Then they march to the streets yelling Allahu Akbar. And then applaud when Americans die. And this is commonplace in this country now. And I don't know where it went wrong. I don't know where things changed. But we've got to course correct, because this doesn't get better. Look at, like that lady said in the video, look at Europe. Look at what's happening over there. Paris is disgusting. It looks like downtown Tijuana. It's horrible. In Norway or Sweden, they have Sharia law patrols. I mean, this is getting out of hand. I've said it before and I'll say it again. Islam, when it comes to a country, brings death and destruction. They're not looking to assimilate. They're looking to dominate. It's that simple. Well, how do you know that? Look overseas. Look at history. Look at their own part of the world, the Middle East. It's an open sewer. They're killing each other wholesale and have been for centuries. Why would anybody think they'd be any different if they moved to Europe or come to America? They don't. They want the same things. They want domination. They're the only religion that if you're a member of and you leave it to become a Christian or a Catholic or a Jew, they will kill you. It's that simple. They'll kill you. But they're all about peace. Yeah, well, I haven't seen any of them promoting peace in a long time. But that's just me. If you don't believe me, go move to Paris for a while. See how that works out for you. All right, moving right along. So now we have, this happened this weekend. 12 people were shot at a Toledo festival. When I last checked, they hadn't caught the suspects. And apparently the police say it was two people shooting at each other. So gang-related or drug-related, one of the two, and 12 people were shot. I guess gun laws didn't protect them. I mean, I wonder how that works with all the gun laws they have. How did these two guys get guns? Oh, that's right, because bad guys don't follow the law. That's why they're called outlaws. The only people that follow the law are law-abiding citizens, and the 12 of them were shot. So gun laws don't work for the good guy. They work for the bad guy. So as we get more about that, we'll let you know. But that happened this weekend in Toledo at some festival in downtown. 12 people just minding their own business got shot by two bad guys. And no, it's not the guns that are hurting them. So guns, we got to have gun control. There is. These people still got shot because, like I just said, bad guys don't follow the law. They don't care what the gun laws are. They're going to get guns. Don't care how they do it. They'll do it. So let's stop blaming the guns and start blaming the people who are shooting people. Those are the ones that need to be held accountable. Not the tool they use. The person using the tool needs to be held accountable. Stop making excuses for people. It wasn't the guns that shot those people. It was people. Two people shot 12 people. And they didn't have guns, they used knives, or they used bombs, or they ran them over. If somebody wants to hurt somebody, they're going to find a way to do it. You can't stop it. But what you can do is stop making innocent people susceptible to bad guys. Stop handcuffing the good guys. Start letting people carry guns. An armed society is a polite society. But no, liberals don't want that. They want everybody dependent on the government. So that'll never happen. It's going to hell in a handbasket, I'm telling you. Next. Trump says he would not unfreeze Iran's assets before the peace deal is done. My question is, why would you give them back any money? I don't understand this. They're a terrorist country. They finance terrorism around the world. Why are you going to give them money? Because they say, oh, we're done. We're sorry. This is where he loses me. They're an enemy. Enemy not of this country, an enemy of the world. So why would you give them money? Why would you give them anything? Why do we make it sound like they have some option or some say in the peace talks? They don't. And they need to be reminded that you are a third world nation. The world does not like you. You are a danger to everybody. And we're only doing this because we want to give you enough rope to hang yourself. Because we know you're going to screw up again. You're going to do some stupid shit again. And the next time we come, we're making your country the 51st state because we're tired of dealing with you. We're tired of you murdering people. We're tired of you threatening everybody in the world and getting away with it. And now we're going to pay you. We're going to reward your bad behavior with money. I don't understand how that's going to teach anybody anything. They got mad when Obama did it, but now we're going to do it now and it's supposed to be okay. No, it's not okay. They shouldn't have got money from Obama. It was like $33 billion. Some crap like that, 2 pallets full of bills. And now if they listen to us, we're going to pay him again. Obviously, when Obama paid him, it didn't matter because here we are again with them doing the same things. I'm telling you, and I've said it before, in 5 or 6 years, we're going to be back in Iran dealing with the same BS that we're dealing with now. They're going to be threatening people, launching missiles into people. We need to nip that in the bud once and for all and be done with them. Or we're going to keep revisiting this issue every 6 years. Mark the date and time. I'm telling you, we're going to be back there again if we don't finish it now. They are not good neighbors of anybody. They're not a society that belongs in the world neighborhood. And I'm not talking about the people. I'm talking about the government. And we're going to pay them. We're going to give them money. We're going to regret that. I can tell you right now, we're going to regret that if we do give them money. But far smarter people than me think that's a good idea. So who am I to question them? Don't give them money. Don't give them anything. We're going to find out the hard way. So that's excuse me. That's the breaking news right now. I'm sure there's more going on, and we're going to get into some more specific stuff as we get further into the show. Excuse me. Like I said, I'm getting sick and I got like 35 frogs in my throat. I can't get any of them out. So that's why I sound like the way I sound. So the first segment is crime and punishment. And I'm sure you've been following this case. I'm sure the entire world has been following this case. Let's bring up that picture. If you don't know what this is from, it's from the Carmelo Anthony and Metcalf, I believe is his last name, murder. Back in, I got notes here, so I'm not spitballing here. Let me get the notes out for you. So, it was a fatal stabbing of a 17-year-old student athlete named Austin Metcalf by fellow student Carmelo Anthony. The incident occurred during a high school track meet at Cundell Stadium in Frisco, Texas on April 2nd, 2025. Apparently, Carmelo Anthony was in a tent of another team. He was asked, they're saying in court now, according to court records, 15 times to leave the tent. And he said, no, I'm not leaving. Metcalf apparently got to his face, told him he had to go. At which point Metcalf or Carmelo Anthony reached into his backpack and apparently grabbed the knife and said, if you touch me again, you're going to find out. And I guess Metcalf shoved him, and then he got stabbed in the chest and died on the scene. When Carmelo Anthony was arrested by the police, he said, I didn't allegedly do it. I did it. His parents then raised $610,000 on GoFundMe. They were used for legal fees, relocation, and living expenses. I don't understand why they needed to relocate, but I'm sure they had their reasons. And as you can imagine, this has turned into a racial circus. The Black Panther group and that's Carmelo Anthony's on the left if you're facing the screen, and Mr. Metcalf is on the right. I just think a lot of testosterone was flying around that tent that day, but none of it should have resulted in anybody's death. I think Carmelo Anthony let his ego override his common sense, and rather than just leave the tent that wasn't his team's, after being asked 15 times to leave, I think he just had his ass on his shoulders and wasn't going to be told what to do. Mr. Metcalf he's a teenager full of piss and vinegar. I don't think he was assaulted. None of the witness testimony from any of the witnesses, teenage witnesses, said there was an assault. Some people have reported that Carmelo Anthony was ganged up on. That has been disproven through eyewitness testimony and camera footage. There was no ganging up or bullying. And what people described as the shove was a one-handed shove to the shoulder. Wasn't like trying to knock him down. It was trying to move him out of the tent. And some of the witnesses say before he even touched him, Carmelo Anthony had already stabbed him in the chest. So if that's the truth, and it has to be entered in court record, it's testimony. That's not self-defense. That's a murder. You can't preemptively stab somebody because you think they're going to assault you. And in Texas, you have to be able to show that your life was in immediate danger of death or seriously bodily harm. I don't know how you're going to prove that. I don't know if they did from a shove. So, in my opinion, it was murder. And it has nothing to do with one kid being black, one kid being white. It has to do with you stabbed the guy after being asked to leave, and he tried to make you leave. So you stabbed him. You don't get killed for making somebody leave a place. I could see an ass whooping or a fight, but you don't get killed for it. You don't stab somebody in the chest. That's what happens when you let your ego take over. I mean, Metcalf even has been quoted by witnesses that he even said, I'm not going to fight you at a track meet. So it appears that Metcalf wasn't looking for a fight. It appears Metcalf was, or excuse me, Carmelo was. But we're going to find out here shortly. Excuse me. And let's go to the next slide. So here's kind of a nutshell of what happened. The victim, Metcalf, had told Anthony that he needed to move out from under their team's tent, and Anthony grabbed his backpack, opened it, and reached inside and proceeded to tell Metcalf, touch me again, and see what happens. Short time later, the victim grabbed Anthony to tell him to move, and Anthony pulled out what witnesses describe as a black knife and stabbed the victim once in the chest. Apparently, it punctured the sac around his heart and his ventricle, and he died on the scene. If that's what happened, I don't see anything that would lead me to believe that Carmelo's life was an immediate threat that would have necessitated the use of deadly force. Nothing. Doesn't say there was a group of kids around him. Doesn't say he was getting punched and kicked and shoved around. Doesn't say there were multiple threats. So I don't see anywhere in that statement where I would have been like, okay, I can understand why the guy stabbed him. That, he was in fear for his life. Sounds like he shouldn't have been there in the first place and should have left one of the 15 times he was asked to leave. Again, that's just letting your ego make decisions for you. Everybody says, well, if they'd left him alone, this wouldn't have happened. Well, if he'd left the tent, this wouldn't have happened. There's a lot of if. Everybody's got an opinion. And they all stink. That's what happened. There's nothing in there that would lead any reasonable person to think that Carmelo should have responded with deadly force. Nothing. None of the witness testimony that was given would lead anybody to believe that deadly force was necessary. Nothing. I feel sorry for both families. Metcalf's family because their son's dead. Over stupid stuff. He's dead. I feel sorry for the Carmelo's family because they're going to lose their son for life. He's looking at life in prison. So both families have been destroyed by one person's idiotic, spur-of-the-moment decision rather than just leave. That's all you have to do is leave. Leave and give him the finger. But leave. Had he just left, this would not have happened. Do I think that the other kid, Metcalf, should have put his hands on him? No. But I also don't think just because you get shoved, you should stab somebody and kill him. That's not a reasonable response at all. Not at all. And it's turned into a shit show. Like I said, you got the Black Panthers out there. You've got black people out there saying they're going to kill crackers. You got white people showing their ass. This has nothing to do with race. This has to do with right or wrong. Was he right? Was he wrong? And if he's wrong, what should his punishment be? And if he wasn't wrong, he gets to go. That's how justice works. May not be right. You may not agree with it. But that's how justice works. And until the judgment comes out, everybody needs to shut up. Nobody has a crystal ball. Nobody knows if he's guilty or not guilty. Nobody knows. Only the jury that's deliberating now will know. And then as soon as they know, we'll find out. So until then, everybody needs to, like I said, get a life. The world doesn't stop revolving because of a murder trial. There's still stuff that goes on outside of that you need to be a part of. I don't know how these people can be out there every day of a trial, all day, screaming and cussing and threatening people. Do they not have jobs? They not have a house they're responsible for? They not have families they got to feed? They got all this free time to sit there and scream threats at one another. That doesn't help anything. And most of these people aren't even involved in the case. I've never understood that. You're not part of something, but you're going to interject yourself into it and become part of it. So you're going to make it about you, not about what you're there for. It's all about you now. And the Black Panthers, when's the last thing they did anything useful? When they first came out, they were a great group. They helped feed pregnant women and their children, policed the neighborhoods, kept them safe. They made sense then. Now, what do? What is their purpose now? They don't have one. So they find purposes like this trial. It's a horrible situation all the way around. No matter what happens in that court, someone's not going to be happy. Doesn't bring the dead kid back, unfortunately. And if the kid goes free, then people say, well, justice wasn't served. It's a lose-lose situation. And I think the best thing to do is just stay out of it and let these families cope the best way they can cope when the verdict comes out. Unless you're directly involved, your opinion means nothing. It doesn't mean anything. You shouldn't be out there protesting. What are you protesting? Well, the jury was all white. People do realize that the defense and the prosecution both picked the jury. They both have a say in who's on the jury. It's not just the prosecution. They both have a say. And I think some of the black jurors interviewed flat out said, I don't think I could find a black man guilty of anything. Why would you want him on the jury if you're the prosecution? The guy just told you they're not going to find him guilty. You kick him. That's the prosecution's right. And the defense has a right to pick people in the jury that would say that. So it's not racism. That's what they're screaming. Well, it's a racist jury. No, it's not. That's how the system works. If you don't like it, petition your government to change it. But it's not racist. The judge and the prosecution didn't get together and go, let's just pick an all-white jury. Let's just do that. No, that's not how it works. Unless you're stupid and you're a racist, then of course that's how it works. Let's bring up the next slide here. I think it's a video.
I'm Christina Owayo in Dallas, and here are your top stories. Protesters outside the Carmelo Anthony first-degree murder trial are causing quite the commotion as the ones supporting Anthony are screaming at officers and people who are there supporting Metcalf. One man wearing a red cap with African chains and two women were yelling directly in the faces of police officers.
Only good cracker is a dead cracker. Only good cracker is a dead cracker. Only good cracker is a dead cracker.
That same man was also yelling across the street at a man in a wheelchair and another holding a flag. He calls them a derogatory name for Caucasians 18 times while threatening to push them into the grave.
I'm gonna push you if I get close enough. Push you right into that grave. You heard what I said, cracker.
That's what you need to know. In Dallas, Christina Owayo.
How does that help anything? I don't understand how that idiot thinks threatening people helps anything. The only good cracker is a dead cracker. That's what he was saying on the first half of that video. Only good cracker is a dead cracker. Only good cracker is a dead cracker. And then the idiot with him with the phone is like, that's right. That's right. Then the second half, he's yelling at a guy, like they said, in a wheelchair. He would push him into a grave if he got closer. Cracker. I don't understand what good he thought he was doing. Does he think that maybe somebody in the courthouse will hear that and go, oh my God, that guy is innocent. Listen to him. He wouldn't be saying that to somebody if the kid wasn't innocent. We got to find him not guilty. I mean, is that how these morons work? Is that what they think? Going around, like I said, if you're not directly involved in this, just shut up. Because all you're succeeding in doing is looking like an idiot. Am I saying it was just black people doing that? No. There was white people being just as ignorant there too. There was one kid had an American flag standing on the Carmelo Anthony side, because now there's sides, physical sides, with an American flag on his shirt, drinking a monster, just there to antagonize and agitate people. I'm sure that kid's parents are so proud of him. I mean, if he had any idea who his father was, I'm sure his father would tell him, great job, son. But what is the purpose? Why are you trying to antagonize and stir up more drama than there already is? There's more than there's needed. What is the purpose of you being there doing that? What are you hoping to accomplish? I know what he's hoping to accomplish. He wants to go viral. He wants to get paid for acting like an asshole on TV, and he's gonna. He will. He'll go viral, make money. He'll be on the podcast circuit talking to all the other morons that agree with him. Like, that was great of you, standing up and exercising your First Amendment right to antagonize and try to cause some drama. You're an American hero. No, you want to know who the American hero was in that whole scene? That cop who stood there while people were screaming in his face and just sat there and didn't do anything. That's the hero. Doesn't make you a hero because you can scream and yell. Doesn't make a hero because you can go antagonize people, knowing they can't do anything to you. That doesn't make you a hero. That makes you a bum. Makes you a bum. And that's the problem in this country. We're putting people on pedestals that have no business anywhere near a pedestal. None. Like I said, there's that moron in Maine who had the Death's Head tattoo on his shirt, on his chest. And if you don't know, that was the tattoo that the SS wore as a medal on their uniform. And he said he didn't know what it was. I got it 18 years ago and didn't realize what it was. Really? Are you that stupid? You got something tattooed on your body and you didn't know what it meant? How stupid do you think everybody else is? Obviously, they're really stupid because they're supporting the guy. He's running for Congress, I believe, in Maine, and people are supporting him. The same people, Democrats, who called Republicans and conservatives Nazis and fascists for 10 years, all of a sudden have no problem with Nazis. It's cool now. Being a Nazi is cool. Like I said before, that word means nothing anymore. And it should. It should. But thanks to liberals and morons that think they're doing the country a service by, that's my first, amendment right, are destroying this country. And I'm not saying it's not their right. I'm just saying, why? Why are you doing it? If you're doing it just because it's your right, that's pretty stupid. There should be some meaning behind it. That's why we have the right. Freedom of the press is here so we can uncover bad things and let the country know. Freedom of religion is so you can't be forced into a religion. Right to peaceful assembly so you can congregate together and have your grievances addressed by the government. It's not just because. Put some thought into it. Why are you doing this? And if you can't answer why, then don't do it. Really, because you're not helping anybody. I think they need to teach civics in high school again. I think they really need to get back into the Bill of Rights and explain that to the people. This is what this means. And then after you find out what it means, then you need to learn the people that died for you to have those rights. Maybe that'll kind of slow all this. Well, it's my right to scream the N-word at people. It's my right to antagonize people. It's my right to shove a camera in your face just to aggravate you so you swing on me and I can sue you. Maybe that'll cut down some of that bullshit. Because that's not what those rights were for. They weren't for you to go viral and make money. They were there for legitimate, important reasons. And you going viral, screaming the N-word at somebody, wasn't a reason we have those rights. And don't think for 1 second it is. I think we got one more slide. Let's get to that. Like I said, the defense rests today, which means the case is going for deliberation. I would expect an extreme. They'll have a verdict within 24 hours, or this is going to drag out for a week. I don't think it's going to take that long. Personally, I think we'll know something within 48 hours before Friday. I would assume. If we don't have something by Friday, it's going to go on for a while. If all the testimony I've read and the facts I know about this case that have been released, I don't think Carmelo Anthony has much of a chance to be found not guilty. I don't think what he did is justified. I don't think what happened should have resulted in anybody's death. And at the end of the day, he's a kid. And I always err on the side of caution with kids because they're stupid. Kids are stupid. Their brains aren't fully developed till they're 24 or 25. Their hormones are raging. They can't think straight. They react. They don't think. They just react. And I think this young man, and I'm saying that because he's a kid, I think he's ruined his life. I think he will never again feel sunshine on his face unless it's through bars. And that's unfortunate. All it would have taken was 1 second of self-control and just left. And for the rest of his life, he's going to be thinking that. What if I just left? What if I just left? Unfortunately, the time for reflection has come and gone. Now it's the time for accountability. I don't feel as sorry for him as I do the Metcalf family. They lost a son over a stupid thing. It's a losing situation all around. There's no winner in this situation at all. The best we can hope for is justice is served, and it's served fairly. And like I said, no matter what happens, neither of these families will ever be whole again. And people go, well, they'll feel better about it. No, I don't think if my son were killed and the person that killed him got a life would make me feel better because I still don't have my son. What happened to the guy's great, whatever. That doesn't fill the void in my life. My son is gone. No matter what you do, it will never change that. And whatever satisfaction that family gets is going to be fleeting. And again, I feel sorry for the Metcalf family. My heart goes out to them. It's a horrible thing that happened to their son. It should never have happened. There's no excuse for it. And hopefully when justice is served, you get a modicum of comfort from it. Who knows? And like I said, we'll find out what happens soon. Like I was said, if we don't know by Friday, that will be kind of weird. There wasn't much what really happened. They have camera footage. They have, I think, 16, 17 eyewitness accounts. They have the knife. They have Carmelo Anthony's statement saying, I did it. I'm not a legal expert, but that sounds pretty cut and dry to me. It sounds like open and shut. But we'll find out soon enough. All right, so now we got to pay the bills, and we'll be right back.
Yeah. This one's for New Jersey. For every working family that's had enough. Name's Damon Galdo. And I'm just getting started.
That was quick. I'm sure we're going to play that at the end of the podcast. As I'm going to get something to drink, and now I'm back on. So we're excuse me. Wow, I am really getting sick. Huh? All right, so we're getting into segment 2. It's called Still Hanging Around. It kind of touches more in depth on what we talked about earlier in breaking news, the Iran America war. As of today, it's been mostly naval and air war. Hasn't been boots on the ground, which is good. The U.S. Central Command has been responsible for the sinking of more than 155 Iranian vessels, which is good with me. Again, I don't think Iran should be allowed to stay. They need to go. They are not good people. The government is not good people. They're so bad that their own population is revolting against them. And the Iranian government has killed 40,000 of their own people. Since all this started, they've killed 40,000 of their own people. They cut the internet off so the world didn't know what was going on. But there are people who are defending Iran. The government needs to be eradicated like cockroaches. They are not good. They're killing their own people. I don't know what more anybody needs to know about that. 40,000, if you kill 40,000 of your own people, you're inviting an ass whooping from other countries. Nobody should sit and watch that and not do anything. 40,000 people. I think they publicly executed an 18-year-old. Publicly executed an 18-year-old for protesting. But it's okay. We don't need to be involved with Iran. It's Israel's war. We don't need to be there. Who do you think Iran is going to come after they do whatever they want to do to Israel? You think they're just going to go, okay, we're fine now. We're happy. Life is good. We're going to become good people now. No, they're going to go to Europe. Then they're going to want us. It won't stop. And only an idiot would think that. Only a moron that doesn't understand there's things that go on 3 feet past his nose would think that Iran will be happy once they get done with Israel. They won't. They won't. They've killed Americans before. They've taken American hostages. They've attacked Europeans. You're an idiot if you think it would stop with Israel. I mean, truly. I can't believe anybody would actually think that. So let's go to the first slide here. This makes me smile. And I can't. We were at a war with Japan. War. And when the war ended, we forbid them from having a military. They could have self-defense force. They could not have a military. Why should we treat Iran any differently? They're worse than Japan was. That was a war. These are terrorists who support terrorism, who kill innocent people on purpose Because that's what terrorism is. Killing civilians to further a political cause and bring fear to the population. They should not be allowed to have a weapon, period. I don't care if it's an air gun. They've proven they can't be trusted. Time and time again, they've proven they are bad people. That government has proven they can't be trusted. That government has proven they will kill people for nothing. They killed their own people. And now we're going to pay them. We're going to release their assets if they agree to getting rid of their nuclear stuff. So we're going to reward bad behavior and then be shocked when this happens again. Like, oh my God, I can't believe they're doing this again. Why wouldn't they? They've been paid twice now. Well, they're going to be paid twice. First by Obama. And if they do what Trump says, he's going to pay them. So they've made money on these deals. And since they don't take care of their population, that government keeps all the money. So why wouldn't they do it again? They're just going to get paid. Or we've set up that idea that they're going to be paid. We've rewarded bad behavior twice or once now, possibly twice. So why wouldn't they think there'd be a third time we'll give them more money? It's not going to end well unless we end it. Unless we eradicate that government completely. This is never going to end. I mean, their own people want that government gone. We need to help them. And then when we get rid of that government, then we pull out. Like, hey, we've destroyed the government. Now it's up to you how you want to govern yourselves. We're no longer involved. Good luck. Have at it. That's how it should be. And every time Iran says, hey, our strait, it's not your strait. We need to bomb something. They don't own the Strait of Hormuz. They have no legal claim to it. They have no legal say on what goes on in the Strait of Hormuz. But we let them do that. We allow them to say that and then agree with them. Every time they threaten to do something with the strait, every time they stop a ship, regardless of whose country it is, we need to bomb something. We need to blow something up of theirs and then tell them this will happen every time you interfere with the lawful business of the strait. We will bomb something. And then when we run out of things to bomb, we'll start bombing your ships. We'll start sinking your tankers. You don't own the strait. Never have. That's international law. But we keep acquiescing to them. Discussing that. That should be pulled off the table. We're not talking about the strait because we have no say in the strait. So get that out of your minds. We're not discussing it at all. But people won't do that. I don't know why. Maybe they like going to war all the time. Maybe they like dealing with these people all the time. I don't know. But as long as we treat them like they have some say in the strait, they will continue to do things in the strait. Like I said, it's like a child. You can't just tell them, no, don't touch that. You have to remove them or the object they're touching. Don't do it again. And if they do it again, you got to punish them. And punish them doesn't mean you give them money. It's just the opposite. That's rewarding bad behavior, like I've said. Let's bring up that map. I think it's the right after the next one. Yes. Now this is a map, and I guess that's light pink or lavender. I don't know. That color is other countries Iran has attacked since we bombed them. So why does anybody think this is not going to continue? They've bombed 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Looks like 8 different countries. Or shot missiles into them. And we're supposed to believe they're just going to give up and go, okay, we're done. They're not. This happens every 4 or 5 years. They get a wild hair across their ass and start firing missiles at people. They're like an attention whore. If they don't think no one's paying attention to them, they do something to draw attention to themselves. And this will continue. This has been going on for 47, 50 years. It hasn't stopped. There's lulls. Little timeouts here and there. But it always picks back up. And we're going to be dealing with this for years and years and years unless we end it. And by that, I mean destroy the government completely, remove them completely, and let the Iranian people rule however they want to rule. And if they decide to bring back the same kind of government, we got no say in that. We should not be in the business of nation building. So once we destroy that government, we need to leave and then leave it up to the people of Iran how they want to do it. I don't think they're going to pick the same type of government. I really don't. I don't think it'll be a democracy, but I don't think it'll be a theocracy. I don't think they're going to have mullahs and other religious folks making laws and enforcing laws in their country. I think they're going to move away from that. I hope they do. I mean, if history shows them, that won't be a smart move. Not a smart move at all. But yeah, it's not just Israel and America they're bombing. They're anybody they can get to, they're attacking. It's not a good country. It's not a good government. They don't want to be neighbors. They have no desire to get along with anybody. They want to be in charge. And as long as I can remember, we've really never put them in their place. Nobody's ever really come down and put them in their place. And this is what you get, a spoiled kid who throws a tantrum every once in a while to get what they want. That's how it's going to be until the end of time, unless we do something. And if you have any comments you want to make, you can do it in the chat. I think it's on YouTube, Rumble, X, and wherever else this is showing. You can make comments, and I will try to answer them if I see them. I won't ignore you. So the Iranian wars, this is not the U.S.-Iranian war. It's the U.S. and everybody around the war. It's everybody that uses the straight war. But nobody wants to say that. This is Israel's war. Looking at that map, I can tell you that you're wrong. And like I said, what do you think will happen if they get rid of Israel? You think everything just stops and all of a sudden they become the best country in the world? Do you honestly think that? And like I said, if you do, you're an idiot. You're not very smart. They've proven they're not just going to stop there. But you all keep your delusions going. It's just them and Israel. Once Israel's gone, they'll be better. You keep telling yourself that. And let me know. Ask the people in Europe how that's worked out. It's not just going to stop. And I wish people would get that through their heads. And a lot of people understand that. I'm not saying everybody does it. A lot of people get that it will not stop there. It grows and grows and grows and just gets worse and worse and worse. Some people just can't grasp that. It eludes them. They don't understand. But they'll learn. If they get their way, they'll learn. And unfortunately, we'll all learn. It's a crazy, crazy world. Like I said, you got court cases going on where people are screaming and hollering at everybody that aren't involved in the court case. And you've got a war where everybody thinks it's not our position. We shouldn't be involved. Not knowing that everything that Iran does affects the world, but it's not our problem. I agree we don't need to send troops in. I don't want troops there. We don't need troops. I agree with that, but I don't agree with saying it's not our problem. Obviously, it is our problem. Prices have gone up. We let them control the canal, or the strait, I'm sorry. We allow them to dictate the rules of the strait. And they shouldn't, but we allow that. The rest of the world allows that. It's like everybody's afraid to stand up and tell people no. No, you can't do that. No, you can't stand in front of a courthouse and threaten people's lives. No, you can't do that. Go home. Get a goddamn job. Can't do that. Leave. No, you can't control the Strait of Hormuz because you don't own it. No. You have no say in it. You have as much say in it as the rest of the world does. So stop. No, you're not doing that anymore. No, you can't ignore. You can't walk into another tent and sit there and then not leave when you're told to leave. No, you can't do that. Get out. Nobody wants to be accountable for anything they do. It's always somebody else's fault. Nobody wants to be told what to do because that's disrespectful or that's my right. So why even have laws? Why even have rules? Nobody follows them anymore. Everybody just does what they want to do. I want to shove my phone in somebody's face because it's my right. Why should there even be a law? I should just be able to do whatever I want to do. If I could just stand on the corner and scream racial slurs at people and threaten their lives, why are there laws? If I could stab somebody in the chest and people will defend my right to do that, why do we have courts? What is the purpose? Somebody will always be unhappy with something. So we need to stop trying to make sure everybody's happy with every decision we make. That's magical thinking. It'll never happen. Nobody likes to be told no. That's why people don't like cops. Cops tell you, no, you can't do that. No, you can't speed. No, you can't break in and steal people's stuff. No, you can't do drugs. Nobody wants to be told no. Because everybody knows better. It's everybody's right. Everybody's worried about their rights. Nobody's worried about the responsibilities that come with those rights. And there are responsibilities. I don't know when this all changed in this country. We were respectful. We were accountable. We respected the law. We respected people in positions of authority. Now it's, if you do that, you're a bootlicker. If someone tells you no, well, they're violating your rights. It's like these morons in New Jersey that are rioting at the detention center. It's my First Amendment right. And I think last Wednesday I covered that. The First Amendment doesn't say you have the right to riot. Doesn't say you have the right to be loud and obnoxious and rude and be in people's way while you're protesting. It says you have the right to peacefully assemble. That's all it says. Peacefully assemble, which means you can have a march. You can have signs. You can walk down Main Street. Doesn't say you can stop cars. Doesn't say you can assault people or destroy public property or destroy private property. Doesn't mean you can ignore police or lawful orders. That's not constitutional. Constitution says peaceful assembly. You have the right to peacefully assemble. I haven't seen a peaceful assembly in years. Regardless of what the Democrats say, they're burning down cities and assaulting cops. Mostly peaceful. What's going on in New Jersey is not peaceful. Again, I can't remember the last peaceful protest I've seen. I can't remember. They all deteriorate into riots and people getting hurt or killed. And then they scream, it's my right. It's my right. No, it's not. Learn to read and read the First Amendment. Show me where it says you can riot. I didn't see that. Where does it say you can vandalize or destroy property? Where does it say that in there? I can't see it. You need to show it to me. Again, nobody in this country wants to tell anybody no. We're afraid. We don't want to be mean. We don't want to be that person. So we let people do what they want to do. And then we're mad at the government because this shit goes on. Why aren't they doing something? Because every time they try to do something, people protest it. Damned if they do and damned if they don't. It's only going to get worse. Only going to get worse. People stoking the fire, stoking the drama, stirring the pot. I like the old saying is if you stir the shit pot, you should have to lick the spoon. I agree with that. If you're out there causing problems, guess what? You should reap the benefits of that as well. But no, can't do that. Can't hold people accountable. You come to this country illegally, commit crimes. But if we try to deport you, that's wrong. That's wrong. We shouldn't do that. Even though every other country in the world would do that, we can't. It's okay to break laws here. And they do. People protect them, protest for them, march for them, assault police officers for them. But if you notice, these people who are arguing at the ICE detention center have yet to allow any of these people to come stay with them in their homes. They haven't opened their door to illegal immigrants. They want everybody else to do it. They don't want to do it. They want to force you to do it. They want you to accept that. But they won't. Can't make this stuff up. So let's go to the next break. And then when we come back, we'll talk about other stuff. A little more lighthearted coming up. I promise.
America's Pulse Network. The mainstream media is bought and paid for. The truth is twisted to fit their agenda. But America is waking up. Because podcasts are the future for trusted media. Welcome to the America's Pulse Network. It is a network built by patriots that upholds the Constitution. But America's Pulse Network stands for God, truth, and the America First movement. There is no corporate propaganda, no government spin, just real news, real talk, and real voices fighting for faith, freedom, and the future of this great nation with common sense. Here are some of America's Pulse Network podcasts. Alexandra Levine Live, hosted by Alexandra Levine. Jersey Shore Podcast, hosted by Damon Galdo. The Conservative Corner, hosted by Seth Eisenberg. The New Jersey State House Watch, hosted by Jack Brangan and Constance Detzel. APN's The Pulse is moderated by either Alexandra, Damon, Elena, or Seth. Also tune into America's Pulse Network on the following social media platforms: X, Rumble, Truth Social, Parler, Facebook, YouTube, and Spotify. Join the revolution because the pulse of America beats for God and country. America's Pulse Network is for faith, family, freedom, and truth.
Welcome back. I am Seth Eisenberg, filling in for Damon Galdo. If you're unaware, he had a death in his family, so he's taking care of some important matters with his family. He's going to take some time, probably the week off, which is completely understandable. That's more important than this. So I'm pitch hitting for him. This is the Jersey Shore, and I'm from the conservative corner, Seth Eisenberg. We have Alexandra Levine, who does Alexandra Levine All In. She's also the White House correspondent. We also have Jack and Constance, who do the Jersey Watch, I believe. And I don't know, and I feel bad, but they're on as well. Excuse me. And then Wednesdays at 8, we have the Pulse, where we all get together and we talk about things that happen on the week. This week is going to be moderated by Elaine Barbera, the based mother, who's very cool. I like her. She's a smart chick. So that'll be fun. I'll be there. I believe Alexandra will be there. Elena will be there. I'm not sure who else will be there. We always have a guest come on. So that'll be a surprise for everybody because I don't know who it is. If you're interested in like being a podcaster on our network, just go to our website. And in the top right corner, there's a menu button. Click that. Then it says podcaster. Click on that and fill the application out. Same thing goes on if you want to sponsor the network or a particular show. Same website, same menu. Just go to sponsor. It's really simple to do. We're growing. A lot of people want to be on there as podcasters, so it takes time. We got to interview you. I'm involved in the interview. I promise it'll be painless, but we do talk to everybody. And then if we think they're fit, we'll bring you on. It's really that simple. Also, chats are open. You can say anything you want to say. We will try to get back to talk to you while you're on. I try. Sometimes I get wrapped up on what I'm saying and I miss it. Also, remember, Damon is running for Congress in District 1. So he's going to need your support. Money, time, whatever you can give him will be helpful. Justin Murphy, who won the primary, is running. I think he's running for senator, I believe. Again, he needs your support. He's a good guy. Both of them are smart guys. They both got a plan. They both know what they want to do. We just got to get them there. I believe Damon is campaigning against Norcross or something like that, Fredo, who's been in power forever. It's time for him to go. I mean, I don't know why anybody would want the same person in charge for decades. I don't get that. With change comes fresh ideas. And you figured you'd want that every 2 or 3, cycles. Somebody new, get some new ideas in there. But it just seems, unless you're a Nazi, the libs don't support that. They want Nazis. Justin, of course, is going against Cory Booker. That guy's got the IQ of a bed bug. racist, just a nasty individual who boils everybody down into little boxes: black, white, Republican, liberal, rich, poor. Doesn't care who you are as an individual. It's much easier just to group people into classes for him because he's not very smart. And if he has to break it down further than that, he needs help. So yeah, we need to get Cory Booker out of there. So Justin Murphy's your man. Damon Galdo's your man. If you're looking for a congressman, you got to support them both. Again, running a campaign, especially at that level, is not cheap. Money is always welcome. And I know those guys probably don't like asking for money for their campaign. It's weird. When I ran for the Board of Education, I didn't like to ask for money. It was just really weird to ask a stranger, hey, give me money. So I'm asking for them. Give them money. It doesn't have to be thousands of dollars. It can be $5 or $10. They can make $5 or $10 stretch and get what they need done. If everybody who watches this podcast now and later sends them $5, that'll be a healthy war chest they got, and they can campaign because trust me, the Democrat liberals have millions of dollars at their disposal. Republicans don't. Don't know why that is. Don't know why Republicans don't financially help other Republicans. And Len, I've also said you don't have to support somebody who's not in your state. Support conservatives no matter where they're at, especially when they're going to D.C. They can only help you. Just because you live in Wyoming doesn't mean you shouldn't care who wins for Congress in New Jersey. If you get a conservative in there, they can pass laws that help everybody, not just New Jersey. Same thing with the Senate. They get laws passed that can help the entire nation, not just their home state. You need to look at it that way. So yeah, send them $5, $10. If you can send them $1,000, send them $1,000. I'm sure they're not gonna. We don't want that. But don't feel if you can't send $1,000, like I go and send 20. That's great. Send it. Send whenever you can. And if you live in New Jersey, you can't give them money. Give them your time. Go door knocking for them. Help them get their literature out. Talk to your friends and your neighbors about it. Put their signs up in your yard. Have your neighbors put their signs in their yard. If your neighbor is a liberal and is supporting Norcross or Booker, still put their sign in their yard. Just put it in front of that sign. Just don't tell them to put it there because you'll get in trouble. But yeah, help any way you can. And if you don't help any way you can, you have no right to complain. You've lost the privilege of complaining. If you sit on your butt, you get what you deserve. You don't get to complain about anything anymore. Get out there. Do something. Nothing is too little. Every bit will help. Trust me. I know Damon's very approachable. I know Justin's very approachable. Get a hold of them. Ask how you can help. They'll tell you. Just don't sit by and think, well, my neighbor's going to do something. I don't have to help. You still got to help. You still got to be involved. That's how the Democrats get into power, because nobody on the Republican side goes out to do anything. I'll give that to the Democrats. When they got to mobilize, they mobilize a lot of people and they do it quickly. I will give them that. They're very good at that. Republicans, sometimes they're not. If it's like in Maryland, I understand why we don't in Maryland, because the GOP in Maryland is a joke. They don't do anything to get people excited about elections. They don't do anything. They throw good happy hours and pretty good holiday parties, and they collect dues like the IRS collects taxes. Other than that, they don't care. Heck, in Frederick County, Maryland, where I live, one of the people running for the Central Committee, Patricia Kelly, stole money off the bar to VFW. $40. $40 off the bar. Just took it. That's what the Republicans are in my county, thieves. The chair of the Republican Central Committee in Frederick County, Justin Wages, was told about it. Doesn't care. Not a big deal. She gave it back. By that rationale, if I rob a bank today and bring back the money tomorrow, I'm not a bank robber. I gave the money back. I'm not a criminal anymore. That's what passes for Republicans in Maryland. And I'm sure you probably got the same situation where you live. If you're a Republican and you do nothing about that, you're allowing it to happen, and you're just as bad as those people. Vote them out. Call them out publicly. Go to these meetings and call them out. Don't vote for them, because that's why the Republican Party is a joke in Maryland. Not just them. There's other schmucks in the party too. I don't support the Republican Party in Maryland at all. I support candidates, not the party. The party will never get another dime from me as long as I live. If I like a candidate, I will give my money directly to that candidate or their treasurer. Not giving it to the party anymore, because all they're going to do with it is have a happy hour, throw a holiday party, and spend thousands of dollars to have some speaker from out of state come talk about Republicans. They're a joke. And if you support them and you know about this, you're a joke. Why would you support somebody that steals? Openly steals. It's on video. And then why would you support somebody that enables that person? What do you think do you think they're going to be good stewards of your money? Do you think they're going to be good stewards of the party? They're not. And I shouldn't have to tell an adult, don't give your money to a thief. I shouldn't have to tell you that. But more people are just worried about the letter after the name of the candidate and not what the candidate stands for. I wish on ballots they take the R and D and all that off the ballots. All you saw was a name and the position they're running for. And you, as the voter, would have to educate yourself on the candidate. That'll never happen because both parties realize some people just vote for that letter. And if you take it off, people aren't going to vote anymore. Or if they had to educate themselves about the candidate, people might not vote for him anymore. So, yeah, Justin Murphy and Damon Galdo are good guys, smart people with a plan. They need your support. Give it to them. In Maryland, I don't know who I'd support right now for the big elections, for senator, Congress, governor, all that. I don't know right now. Do your own research. Make your own decision. I know who I'm not voting for. I've made it very clear: Patricia Kelly, Justin Wages. No Democrat am I voting for because all Democrats are insane. So yeah, I'm not voting for them. They're Republicans. I'm not voting for them. I'm actively working against them because a thief doesn't hold my values. That's not who I am as a person. The person who's enabling the thief and pretending like it didn't happen doesn't expound my values. They don't get my vote. Any Republican, hell, anybody who works for a living shouldn't vote for them. But you got to make your own decisions. But just remember, elections have consequences. And if you vote for them, you get what you deserve. All right. So now we're going to the last segment of the show. It's all a bunch of different stuff. And the first thing we're going to talk about really had my producer, Damon Sherrod, curious. And I want to show that one, and I'll get it. It's an interesting story. So let's bring up that slide. That is a Madagascar hissing cockroach. It is the biggest cockroach in the world. It's about from here to your bottom of your palm. It's big, and it hisses. I've held one at the National Museum of Natural History in D.C. They are big, and they have weight. They're not like your little wood cockroach that runs around your house. You could ride these things to work. In Australia, the authorities seized 100,000 hissing cockroaches from a breeder in Bathurst, Australia, citing biosecurity and environmental concerns. Madagascar hissing cockroaches are illegal in Australia, but are often sold as reptile food due to their large size. So I guess they went to this guy's house on a tip and found 100,000 5-inch hissing cockroaches. I don't know what they did with them, but they confiscated them. I'm willing to bet if that happened in this country, since the liberals think bugs are full of protein, they'd have put it into some type of food and sold it to us. But yeah, 100,000 of those things. And they stink. Cockroaches smell bad. So I can't imagine what a building with 100,000 of those huge cockroaches would smell like. That just gives me the creeps thinking about it. 100,000 5 to 6 inch cockroaches that hiss. Not a little hiss. Not like, did you hear that? It's a hiss, like a snake. It's got some bass in it. You feel it in your chest. So that was in Australia, 100,000 of them. That's reason like 10,402. I won't go to Australia because not just because of that, but because everything will kill you there. Everything. The ants can kill you. I think 10 of the 20 most venomous snakes are in Australia. The spiders will kill you. Crabs will kill you. Everything down there will kill you. It's geared to kill you. I will never go there. No desire to visit Australia. I'm sure it's a beautiful country. I'm sure the people are awesome. I just don't want to die. And that's probably a good place to avoid if you don't want to die. So I don't know if everybody's aware, but this Sunday is Flag Day. Interesting. June 14th. Let me find something here. Flag Day. Flag Day, if it won't, as soon as it loads, was adopted in 1777 by the American Continental Congress. And everybody goes, well, what's Flag Day? It's to celebrate the flag and what it represents. Everybody's got a holiday. You got Veterans Day, Memorial Day, Christmas, Easter. And now we've had Flag Day. It's not a federal holiday. It didn't make the cut, but it's still an important holiday. So fly your flags. Be proud of Flag Holiday. And let's, I think we got another slide that kind of shows some of the, this is, of course, George Washington. And they're looking at the first flag, and everybody's like, oh, well, yeah, that's pretty cool. That's him crossing the Delaware to lay an ass whooping on the British with the American flag. Iwo Jima, a very famous photo of World War II. U.S. Marines raising the flag after the battle they had won. Of course, if you're a conspiracy theorist, that was done in a sound studio in Hollywood. If you're of above average intelligence, you'll realize that was on the moon landing. We planted the U.S. flag there. So our flag is represented in some really cool places. It's an amazing thing, really. And this is the progression of the U.S. flag. First flag to where we just saw the one with George Washington. Let's see how it progresses. 21 stars between 1819 and 1820. Then we get to where it's starting to look a little bit more like today's flag, 1837 to 1845, 26 stars. 1846 to 1851, got 30 stars. 1871 to 1890, 38. 1960 to present, the one we have now, 50 stars. And everybody knows what the red stripes and all that mean on the flag. If you don't, look into it. There's a whole explanation about everything on the flag. It's interesting. And I don't want to tell you, because if I tell you, you won't look it up for yourself, and knowledge given isn't as valuable as knowledge gained. So look into it for yourself. You won't be sorry. I'm telling you, it's very interesting stuff. So Flag Day is this Sunday, all day. And fly your flags. And I mean real flags, not the Confederate flag, not the Pride flag, not the BML flag, none of those flags. Those are not real flags. Fly the real flag. Fly it high and fly it proud. And remember the rules with the flag. Sun should never set on the flag. The sun should never rise without the flag up. So it comes that you take it down at sunset, put it up at sunrise. Should never touch the ground. And you all know who handles flags that have been retired? Well, you can go to the VFW, but it's the Boy Scouts. They handle the retiring of flags. So if you have to retire a flag because it's torn up, old, and faded, you contact the VFW or the Boy Scouts of America, and they will take it off your hands and give it the proper retirement. That's how it should be handled. So we're getting towards that, end of the show. And I want to thank everybody for coming to hang out with me. I know you were expecting Damon. Again, he's got some very important things he's taking care of with his family. If you saw the beginning of the podcast, he explained it and said he was sorry he couldn't be here. Don't know why he's apologizing. He has nothing to apologize for. I was happy I could help. Again, I'm sorry for his loss. Losing a sibling is never easy. And it's not something you get over quickly. So when I'm doing my show, this is usually the point where I give my opinion on something. Sometimes it has to do with the podcast. Sometimes it doesn't. This has to do with the podcast. And again, it's just, it's not so much an opinion. It's a little different what I'm doing today. So let me read it, and then you can do with it as you will. I am deeply saddened to hear of Damon's sister Catherine's passing. Losing a sibling cuts especially deep. Catherine was more than family. She was a living witness to his entire life story. The shared laughter and mischief of childhood, the inside jokes that only they understood, the family traditions, the quiet moments of support through every season of life. With her gone, a unique chapter of his history feels gently closed, and the world feels a little more solitary. Yet even in sorrow, there's a deeper truth worth holding. Love this profound does not end. Philosophers and thinkers across time have reminded us that those we cherish never fully depart. They become part of the light by which we continue to navigate our days. Catherine's spirit endures even every memory Damon carries, in the way she helped shape his character, in the kindness and strength she brought into his life, and in the unbreakable bond that death has no power to erase. What was physical has simply changed form. The connection remains eternal. Grief follows its own sacred, unpredictable rhythm. Some days it may feel heavy and wordless. Other days, a single recollection of Catherine might bring unexpected warmth or even a smile. There is no wrong way to work through grief. There is only Damon's way. May he honor her by allowing himself to feel it all. We are here for you, Damon, with no expectations. Whether you want to talk about Catherine's life, share stories, sit in silence, or simply know someone is holding space for your pain, I'm right here, wishing you comfort, strength, and quiet moments of peace as you carry her beautiful memory forward with love and respect. We are here for you, and that's from the entire crew at America's Pulse Network. And I want to leave you all with this. Grief can't be shared. Everyone carries it alone, his own burden in his own way. Grief is the price we pay for love. Given a choice between grief and nothing, I choose grief. Again, that's not so much an opinion. Just extending America Pulse Network, my family's, and all the viewers at Jersey Shore's condolences to Damon and his family during this tough time. You're not alone. We are here, like I said, if you just need to vent or just want to sit in silence, all you got to do is call, brother. So I want to thank everybody for joining us tonight. Even though I had 128 frogs in my throat, I think I did pretty good. We will be back tomorrow for the Jersey Capitol coverage with Jack and Constance. Wednesday night for the Pulse at 8. Everybody will be here to talk about the news of the day. So yeah, try to come back. We appreciate it, and feel free to chat, pose questions, whatever. We like the engagement. So again, our deepest sympathies and condolences to Damon Galdo and his family. And thank you for watching and hanging out with me tonight. If you have any questions or anything about, excuse me, about podcasts tonight, just get in touch with me. You can reach me on, X, Conservative Seth, or on Facebook, The Conservative Corner. And I will answer you if I possibly can. Other than that, thank you very much. Have a great evening and have a good week, and we will see you Wednesday. Take it easy.
Hey, it's great to be on with you. This is a great podcast. It's a lot of fun, and it's informative, and it's real information. It's none of the frills and none of the nonsense that you hear on the legacy media. Just tell them the story, of what's happening right now. It's what I do with my newsletter that I get out to anybody who wants to see it. It's what you're doing with this podcast. America needs to know what the real deal is, and you're the real deal.
The Hammer thanks you for watching tonight's Jersey Shore podcast. See you at the next packed show, from breaking news to topics that will keep you informed. So please click the subscribe button to get notified of upcoming episodes. If you like what the Hammer talked about, then share the Jersey Shore podcast to others. Damon also looks forward to seeing you on the next episode.
Yeah. This one's for New Jersey. For every working family that's had enough. Name's Damon Galdo. And I'm just getting started. Job site dust to the streets of the shore. Steel-toed boots, yeah, I know what I'm working for. Middle class hurting, every bill going up. While suits in D.C. say, man, just trust us. I'm a builder by trade, put my sweat in the ground. Now I'm building up hope for my hometown. Jersey's my home, blue-collar soul. I don't make excuses, I get it done, that's all I know. I felt the pressure, I've lived that grind, trying to give your kids a better life. I won't forget where I came from, man, cause I'm built by work. I'm built by working hands, fighting for working families. Not a career man who forgot what hard work means. They talk real big, but nothing ever changes. While Jersey keeps drowning in the same old pain, I'll build a future strong for our kids in this land. I'm Damon Galdo, built by working hands. Yeah. Donald Norcross been there year after year. Same old story while the struggle's still here. Claims he's for workers, but look around town. Rent sky high, grocery bills breaking us down. Where's the relief for the middle class grind? Cause all I see is folks falling behind. I ain't got decades in some DC chair. I got skin in the game, cause my family's here. Time, they had their shot, and tell me, Jersey, what have we got? It's time for change, time for a stand, time for a work, and not another plan, not another plan, not another plan. Yeah! I'm built by working hands, fighting for working families. Not some suit who sold you fantasy. We waited long enough, it's time to demand a future built by honest hands for Jersey strong, for this great land. I'm Damon Galdo, built by working hands. Yeah, this ain't left, this ain't right. This is fight for what's right. For every mom working double shifts, every dad praying they don't miss. I'm running for my kids, running for yours, for a state that deserves so much more. Not talk, that's the plan. Let's build it back with a working man. For our children's dreams, for a better way. I'll fight for Jersey every day. No empty words, I'll take the stand, cause I'm built by work. Yeah, I'm built by working hands, fighting for working families. While the old guard keeps playing the same old game. But we're done with waiting, done with excuses. It's time for a man who knows how to do this. I build a future strong for our kids in this land. I'm Damon Galdo, built by working hands. New Jersey 1st District. If you're tired of the talk and ready for work, walk with me. Galdo, Galdo. Galdo, Galdo. Galdo, Galdo. Make the crowd chant with no music.